Hello, welcome to my channel Jai Watch. Hope you guys have seen the first two videos. This particular video is going to be categorization of movements. We are going to discuss three particular types of movement and what results can you gain out of it. These movements are mostly practiced in जिम कल्चर बट जिम के बाहर भी ये मूवमेंट प्रैक्टिस करते हो आप लोग. अगर आपने पहली दो वीडियो नहीं देखी है जाके देखो. तीसरी वीडियो चालू करते 3, 2, 1. So basically isotonic movements are any sort of movement that changes the length of the muscle, the angle between the joints that are being used, and it is dynamic in nature. So majority of our movement falls under the category of isotonic movement. From moving our fingers to speaking to breathing to doing push-ups, pull-ups, squats, all of this fall under isotonic movements. On the other hand, isometric movements are the static movements that we do. It does not change the length of the muscle nor the angle of the joints being used in the movement, but it uses time under tension. Time under tension is just about contracting your muscles or targeting certain muscle groups for X amount of time. For example, doing a plank, it is an isometric movement. Then holding a sumo squat or a horse stance is an example of isometric movement. So plyometric movements are all the fun movements that we used to do when we were a kid. Lungri is one of the most common plyometric exercises that one does. So what is plyometric? What are the basic rules of plyometric exercise? 1. It should be explosive and it should be done as quickly as possible. Second, it should minimize the contact with the ground. So if you look at any exercise that I'm doing here, A, it is explosive and quick. B, it minimizes my contact of foot with the ground. So for example, I'm doing these high jumps. As soon as I land, I'm quickly exploding up, I'm jumping up, trying to minimize my contact with the ground, and I'm doing these explosive movements again and again and again, which are considered plyometrics. Some other plyometrics includes box jumps, lungri, even explosive push-ups that you can do. Basically, the benefit of isotonic movement is derived with the high numbers of repetition one can do in single set, because it has to do with changing the length of the muscle. As you perform any isotonic movement, your muscle will lengthen and contract. So in order to train that, you have to go for higher number of reps till the time you can do no more, till the time you reach failure, until the time your muscles are so fatigued that it cannot contract beyond a point, or it cannot carry that weight beyond a point. To derive benefits from isometric movements, you have to rely on two key components here: the weight that you're carrying and time under tension. Either you can go for heavier weight and keep the time under tension comfortable to your length, or you can carry the weight that you're comfortable with and increase the time under tension. Isometric movement are going to gift you with strength endurance, and by that I mean that your body is going to supply strength for X amount of time under X amount of load in a locked position. For example, carrying a heavy grocery bag or carrying and moving your furniture from one place to another. To derive benefits from plyometric movements, you have to rely on two things. One is explosiveness and two is minimizing the contact with the ground once you are up in the air. So any movement that you're doing, you have to focus on being explosive and you have to reduce the time that you're in the contact with the ground. Plyometric exercises help you generate great amount of force under short period of time, and they incorporate tendons along with muscles. And healthy, strong and functional tendons are useful in so many ways that we are not even aware of. So adding plyometrics are always fun, and it is a cherry on top for your exercise regime. Now that we know what is an isometric movement, what is a plyometric movement, and what is isotonic movement, you might be getting a gist of this statement when I say we are surrounded by movements. भाई ये सारी movement हम रोज करते हैं, ये कुछ नया नहीं बता रहा हूँ मैं. It's just that we didn't know what is isometric, what is plyometric, what is isotonic. So now that we know, train with these kind of movement. Remember, your body adapts to the way you move. Having said that, भाई कष्ट लगता है, सपोर्ट करो, बोलना नहीं चाहिए, ठीक है? लाइक, शेयर, सब्सक्राइब, ठीक है? मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में, बाय.